Hey everyone, thanks for joining me here on the Aussie Lawn for another week. Since we had that frost, we had a frost there the other week, and it had me thinking, I wonder if there's something that we can sort of do to try to alleviate some of the effects of frost. So I thought straight away, buffalo is going to lose its colour, it is going to become pretty ordinary looking, and I thought, I wonder if there's something that we can use. And then I remembered I had a product in the shed called Envy, and it was a frost/drought resistance kind of coating sort of a product. So anyway, I reached out so I thought, all right, I'll shoot these guys an email. I sent a email off to AgriBest, I think that's their name, AgriBest, who are the manufacturers of Envy. And I said, look, this is who I am, this is what I do. Would you be interested in providing me some products, and I'll do the review and see if we can actually get some colour through winter on the turf. So I sent that off a couple of weeks ago, and I haven't heard anything, so that's fine. Look, those guys aren't interested. And I thought, well, I was going to push on with the trial anyway. However, it would have been nice to actually have had them sort of contact me, because I had a few questions. Some of the things on the label weren't clear. There was the rates, for example, they didn't really line up from the bottle, from the website, etc. So it would have been good just to have a bit of info. Anyway, not to panic. So today we're going to press on. We're going to spray that on the buffalo. Look, I thought about doing a little patch of cooch. If you really want to see some on the cooch, let me know. But I think we're going to get a good enough idea by using the buffalo. I'm certainly not going to put it on the putting green because we're doing our little plant doctor trial. And, you know, as you can see from the intro, that little mow I did this morning, things are looking pretty awesome. We're now on the cusp of winter, so it's the end of May here, June, winter begins, but the weather's still been kind. We had the 2 earlier frosts, but anyway, that's life. So we're going to do a little mow, because I reckon that's the best way to handle this. We'll mow that buffalo first, because once that product's on there, it's a coating kind of product. I think once that product goes on, it'll be better that we don't sort of mow it again unnecessarily, or we'll probably just have to apply it more times. So let's get on with it. Sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. It's going to read off the sheet. I printed out the literature they had online. So basically what it says here, hang on, get more comfortable. Basically, Envy is a unique water emulsifiable polymer concentrate. Can be used on most trees, vegetables, flowers, crops. When dry, Envy forms a semi-permeable biodegradable film which reduces transpiration and protects plants from climatic extremes. So one of the key features here that they talk about is Envy can increase frost tolerance by as much as 4 degrees Celsius, and it can do things like reduce moisture loss through transpiration by up to 50%, reducing drought stress and irrigation. Envy will not impede photosynthesis and normal plant growth. Envy is non-toxic, pH neutral and biodegradable. Talks about 2 applications and some percentage rates per hectare example. Now, some of the things that it does say in there with your spray tank, and this is why I'm going to use my old sprayer with this, it talks about having them really clean. So obviously this stuff is going to react to certain chemicals and just clog the whole show up. So I'm going to use my old Hardy pressurized sprayer for this job, and it also it stresses that washing out straight after application. Obviously this stuff's going to set off, clog stuff up, be a pain in the bum if you don't do that straight away. So look, let's give it a whirl. I don't know how it's going to play out. I had this stuff sitting in the shed here, and I thought I used it on some younger plants here a few years back, and I thought, I wonder if this stuff will work on turf, and we're going to find out. Okay, so not a real lot of grass came off that. It was just enough to tidy it up a little bit. But let's have a look. Let's see what we got. Well, I don't think there's much in the catcher. One-handed could be a bit tricky. Oh, yeah, there's a bit in there. There's a bit in there considering. So yeah, all right. Well, that'll work. Okay, so I've given that this spray tank here a really good rinse out just to be sure. Like I said, use the old ones because that way it's less stressful. I don't want to get it all clogged up through that battery powered solo spray of mine. Just looking at the rates, mentioned earlier, a little bit unclear. If you go on the bottle, it's 50 mils to 100 mils of product per litre of water. And then you look at, and that says specifically application for heat, wind, frost, lawns, turf, ornamental shrubs, palms, vegetables, etc. Repeat every 2 to 4 weeks. Okay, so then you've got on the printout some similar but different rates again. So frost protection, general application rates. First application, 5% dilution up to a maximum of 20 litres per hectare. So 5% works out to be, from the top of my head, 400 mils per 8 litres. This one holds 8 litres. And the second application at 3%, which is a bit less. So they don't really marry up. So I reckon we'll just go the heavier rate first, and we'll put 800 mils. We'll just go off the bottle because that's the bottle that they're selling with the rate on it. So we'll go 100 mils per litre. So 800 mils in here, application done. And I guess these are the sorts of things I would have liked to have clarified with them a little bit if they wanted to get back to me and talk to me about it in the email. Actually, I better quickly talk about a few things here on how to use. So it says shake it well. Done that, tick. Add the measured amount. So basically says fill up with water first, then add the product. And that's obviously says something about that'll avoid it foaming up. So obviously it gets a bit foamy. Okay, applying. Use a fine pressure spray to ensure cover of total plant surface. Do not apply when water or air temperature is less than 5 degrees Celsius or when plant/turf is wet, as this will dilute the application. Allow envy to set for 2 to 3 hours before watering. So I'm going to say that according to, then going across to their other sheet, it says spray to runoff to achieve full coverage. So you really got to, it's a situation of a fine spray that's really going to soak the plant to run off. So once the chemical, you can see it literally starting to roll off the leaf, because obviously this is going to be a coating. So that's what we're looking to get. So hoping that 8 litres will get over that at that rate. Yeah, it's very milky sort of stuff. Anyway, we better crack on. Don't want it turning into glue or something in there before we get it out. Righto, we'll give it a good old shake up. I reckon we're good to go. That's sort of what we say when we say to point of runoff. So, you know, it's well and truly on the leaf. I'll just zoom in here a little bit. You can see that it's at the point of runoff. It goes on a little bit. It's very milky like, but it's easy to apply. Haven't had any problems so far with the sprayer clogging up or anything like that. Okay, so first impressions. Followed the labels and sort of worked out a rate. Had a bit of a, I guess, work out a bit of this rate, bit of that rate, and sort of come up with what we came up with. Anyway, look, that little square behind me, that bit there, I didn't apply anything there on purpose, and we're going to use that as a bit of a control, just to see how much of a difference it makes, if any difference. It might be fantastic, it might not be fantastic. That's why we've kept that bit there. It's not a large area, but it's a fair area. It's going to give us a good idea. Righto, well, thanks very much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next week here on the Aussie Lawn.